Welcome back to Boys in the Iceberg, where we talk about the Avatar show on Nickelodeon.
Welcome back to the Boys in the Iceberg, the podcast where we watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. As always, I'm Caleb Bader.
And I'm Harley Davis.
And this week we got a couple great episodes.
Three great episodes.
Oh yeah, we got 3.
Learn to count.
That's good. I don't remember what the first episode was already.
It was called, not the Guru.
The Earth King?
Yeah, we had the Earth King, and then the Guru, and then the Correspondence of Lovers or something.
Yeah, so these are the last 3 episodes in Book 2, Water. Which is pretty exciting.
Crossroads of Destiny. I just made that up.
Yeah. So the first one, the Earth King, starts right after the last episode. Whatever that Lake Lao guy.
Lake Lao Guai.
I think it's Guy.
Is it Guy?
I think they said Guy. I don't know.
Lake Lao Guy. I think it's Lake Lao Guai.
They immediately after getting Appa back, they're like, well, we don't need to rely on anybody to get us to see the Earth King anymore. So let's just go see him.
Oh yeah, that's when they just start murdering people to get to the Earth King.
Oh yeah, they're just taking out people left and right.
They murder so many people, and Toph and Aang are pretty well. I'm gonna assume telepathically linked because they were like a good team.
Yeah,
like they just knew what to do with each other immediately.
They're on the same page with everything because they're doing concurrent bending, but at like the same exact thing. Right when Aang starts doing something, Toph does the exact same thing,
and vice versa.
Yeah. And it's really cool. They do some really cool earthbending stuff in this episode.
Toph does that cool like airplane thing with
a propeller. Yeah, there you go.
Where it's they're like, I'll just tear up all the stuff in the studio just to show you the one person that's already seen it. It was cool.
Yeah,
just to block rocks. Anyways,
yeah, and Aang was doing that. I think Aang did it a little bit too.
I don't care about Aang.
I wonder how much Aang like just watches Toph and is like, oh yeah, that's cool, I'll do that.
That'd be a cool thing to do.
Like just as she's fighting, because I think she's making stuff up that you don't see from any other. Most of the airbend or earthbending is pretty cut and dry. They usually just like bring up a piece of earth and then throw it.
Yeah, it's pretty down to earth. It's pretty simple.
Nice,
thank you. This is also the same episode where Zuko falls into a coma, a conflict-induced coma.
Which is that this episode?
That's the Zuko side of this episode.
Oh, okay.
They come back home to their tea shop, and Iroh establishes through exposition that that he's let free Appa, the Avatar's bison, and then he falls to the ground. And later on, we find out that he's conflicted about his decisions, about where he's at in life. His season 2 character development of being calm and peaceful and being very humble. And season 1 character development of being a crazy psycho person just after honor.
Yeah, so Iroh
has come to a head.
Yeah, Iroh explains that what he did by letting Appa go is so different than what his personality usually is that he just can't comprehend it, which I think is the dumbest thing ever.
It's not the best. That was not me. It's not the best. But I will say that it'll pass for an excuse. And we needed to understand that Zuko was going through a lot of internal turmoil. So therefore, that's why we got that.
Yeah, but he's having like hallucinations and stuff in dreams.
He was dreaming.
Okay, no.
All dreams are weird. Did he really wake up?
Well, he walked over.
I think it's like lucid dreaming though, isn't it? Like when you wake up and like you think, like when somebody walks into your room and says, "Hey, wake up, you need to go to work," and then you
that's a hallucination,
immediately go back to sleep, and you think you've woken up, and you've gone to brush your teeth, and now you're getting ready to wake up, and you wake up again, you're like, "Oh crap, I'm gonna be late for work."
Yeah,
I think that's the kind of scenario he was in.
I think he actually like got up and walked over to the water basin, as it were.
It's basin.
No, it's not actually. But he walked over to the water basin and watched his.
It's basin.
Oh, okay. So he walked over to the water basin, and he looks up into the mirror, and he's the Avatar, which is kind of weird.
There's a weird look on him.
Oh, yeah. Because at first you're like, oh, it's Zuko without a scar, and then you're like, no, he's bald and has an arrow down his head.
Not only does he have a scar, he has no hair either.
Yeah.
Which is a weird look for him.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But he was almost bald in the first season. Like he just had that little ponytail in the back.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's just a different...
They shaped him like Avatar's head.
Yeah. A lot of the him without the scar is just a really weird thing to see.
You think that was weird for the animators to do?
Probably not. I don't think they care.
The animators are not
They're like, okay, we'll do this. I mean, they're getting paid.
They don't care about this show at all. You think they followed along with the show at all? Like, you think they watched the show as they made it?
I don't know, because I know that the place that did the animation, Doctor Movie, they're based in Korea.
Some of them.
Well, yeah, but
Most
majority
of them, I
of them,
should say, yeah.
Doctor Movie. They're based in Korea, so they probably get all the... I don't know about that. I think they just ship it off and have them animate it and then send it back.
I feel like if I was the head of a studio like that and we finish an episode, I would want to watch it to see if it's, as a group.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what you did, this is what I did, this is what we all did, this is what I edited. I would want to see, the final thing. You think they do
most
that?
of the people who actually, work on the movie, even, craft services and stuff that just provide food, I'm sure they're like, I want to see what this movie is that I've been watching people do.
Maybe. But anyways... we are not an animation studio. We are not even in a studio. We are in a podcast. So that's neither here nor there.
So they end up getting to where the Earth King is in his castle
after murdering dozens of people.
Yeah, they're just taking out people left and right, and Tara's saying that she's sorry and stuff like that because I guess they know that the Dai Li have basically taken over without anybody knowing.
Yeah, they're not even fighting the Dai Li. They're fighting the actual servants or the soldiers outside of the palace,
like the security guards and stuff. So they know that it's basically the Dai Li's fault, and so they're not trying to actually hurt these people.
Is it Dai Li or is it Long Feng? Because Long Feng's kind of a turd.
I think it's the Dai Li. Yeah, it's definitely all the Dai Li. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's Long Feng.
I think the Dai Li just follow orders.
Yeah.
Because we find that when that comes to a head in the third episode that we watched, it's a lot of things going on there. I think they're just following orders. It's not spoilers. It's been out for a long time, guys. Go watch it.
Yeah, but they end up getting to the Earth King and telling him all this stuff about how the Fire Nation is going to be most powerful than it's ever been because it shows in a comet, and there's actually a day when there's an eclipse where we can take out the Fire Nation, and he doesn't really believe them.
Well, Long Feng is over there, Jafar. He's whispering sweet nothings into the...
Or Grima Wormtongue.
Maybe. He's in there whispering sweet nothings into his ear, and he's like, hey, that's not true. None of it's true. These guys are liars. He's like, that might not even be the real Avatar. I just made that up. I don't think he says that. But
we do get to see a really cool moment where they tell him that Aang's the Avatar, and Aang is in stone handcuffs at the moment, and he just takes the stone off and waves and then puts him back.
They do that in the first season, too, when they... Or when he gets...
when he's in the shackles.
When he's in the shackles, and he's just leaning up against the shackles talking to those bald guys. I love that. But yeah, and then the Earth King's like, I don't believe it. And they talk about how Appa bit the dude's leg, which I don't remember that happening. I remember him betting his foot. Did he bite his foot, or did he bite his leg?
I'm not sure.
I think I saw him bite his foot, but in the show...
Oh, no, yeah, it was his leg.
Yeah, in the show, the story is he bit his leg. Long Feng's leg, I should say. Appa bit Long Feng's leg.
In the previous episode.
That's the evidence they use against Long Feng to say that... He said he's never seen a sky bison, which is weird because he has.
Yeah.
So they use that evidence against him, and the king kind of believes them.
He agrees at least to go with them to Lake Laogai.
Yeah, and then they find out the Lake Laogai has been destroyed, probably by the Dai Li, obviously, to cover up the tracks.
It wasn't really even destroyed. It was just it wasn't there.
Yeah, well, when she brings back up that tunnel that led to Lake Laogai, she brought it back up as all in shambles.
So they just moved dirt down into it and just covered everything up.
Which is kind of I'm assuming this is what Long Feng was doing when he agreed to go with them. Long Feng's like, well, I know a shortcut. Because you see Long Feng leave right before that. He's like, oh, I know a shortcut to get to Lake Laogai, so I'm just going to destroy that. And then we get to see him go to the drill. They go see the drill. Is that the next thing they do?
Yeah, once he sees that there's nothing in Lake Laogai, they're like, oh, wait, we can just show him the drill. There's no way they could have cleaned it up. And he doesn't want to go, but they say he can ride on Appa.
Because he showed interest in that about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, so it was set up and then delivered.
Yes. So we got to see that, and he got to fly on Appa. And then they go to see the drill, and then Long Feng's like, hey. He just pops out of nowhere like a little creepy dude. He's like, that's not Fire Nation stuff. That's an experiment. That's a construction experiment we've been working on. And then he's like, well, then why is there a Fire Nation insignia on it? And then Long Feng goes, well, that's because it was imported. We don't enjoy what did he say? Domestic...
you can't trust domestic machines.
Yes.
Which is kind of anti-national.
That's funny to me. Like German engineering for cars. You're a VW driver.
Yeah.
So
It's they're the best. I swear by them. I was going to make a pretty insensitive joke.
Are we endorsed by VW?
No.
We're not, because we don't get money. We're poor.
If
broke.
VW would love to send us money, I will take it happily. Please.
But we got to set up something, some kind of endorsement. If any of you guys work for VW, get the word out.
Or anything. If you work for anything that could possibly need to advertise somewhere.
If you own a small company that only makes $5, a day, we'll work for that.
We have about 500 weekly listeners.
We are right now. We are doing this in the closet of my mom's room. We don't have the funds for a real studio.
Yeah, I'm not even in the closet.
It's so bad.
Okay, but anyway, let's get back to the episode. He does some stuff, and then we move on to the next episode.
Okay, whatever. He believes them. The king believes them, and then he basically gives them jurisdiction over Ba Sing Se, and then he arrests Long Feng.
Yeah,
and then at the end of it, they're like, he shows Long Feng in the prison, and Dai Li shows up and says, "Hey, we're still loyal to you. Don't freak out." And then Long Feng's like, "Ooh, I can keep doing stuff,"
and he enjoys his meal.
And is this the episode where Azula shows up?
Is it? I don't know. Yeah, because at the end of that, you think everything's basically concluded. Like, this is like the end of the season. It's actually a natural point where they could wrap it up. Because,
like the Dark Knight. Yeah,
we discover that Katara and Sokka's father, they actually know where he's at. They give them some information. And then Toph finds out that her mother sent her a letter and tells her she's in Ba Sing Se, so she's going to go meet her. And then Aang has to go to the Guru Patik, that Appa was at. And so it almost looks like they're going to, like, the resolution of the season's right here. Everybody's going to go off their own ways, and then season 3 will come back and see what happened.
Yes.
But that's not what happens, because nothing goes as it was planned.
No, Katara starts working for the general, which is fine. Toph gets captured by the two guys who have been trying to capture this entire time.
They were posing as her mother.
This entire time.
We pointed this out during the
It's been like, they've been in Ba Sing Se for like a month.
Yeah. So what happened was Long Feng was holding all the mail and wasn't, sort of like a la Dobby in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Okay.
But he was keeping all the mail from them, and Toph's mom had sent a letter, but it wasn't actually Toph's mom. It was Sin Fu and then the other Earthbender master guy. I don't know his name. Lee, maybe?
Master Yu?
Master Yu. But so they had been given a bounty on Toph.
I just threw out a very Asian-y name. I have no idea.
I think that's actually what it was. But they were given a bounty on Toph, and so I think that everybody's been in Ba Sing Se for like a month. And then Toph shows up a month later, and they're in the rafters waiting for her. So they've just been sitting up
in the rafters for a month.
Yeah, they've just been waiting on her. But they end up capturing Toph, and they put her in a metal cage so she can't bend out of it, obviously.
And then I think that's...
And then...
not a wrap, no, because Aang ends up at the Guru.
Aang goes to the Guru.
And Sokka ends up with... Sokka ends up with his dad, and then Aang ends up with the Guru, and that's the end of it.
And then Katara is actually going to go get some tea. Or is that the next episode?
That's the next episode.
Okay. So, and then we find out that the Kyoshi warriors have shown up. Because they come out and say that there's some girls in makeup and like this weird garb and stuff. And they're here, and Sokka vouches for the Kyoshi warriors.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's Suki. Those are the best warriors ever. And stuff. I made out with one time.
But then we find out that it's not actually Kyoshi warriors. It is Azula and her tribe.
Well, I wouldn't say a tribe. Or clique, I would say. Like the Mean Girls.
Okay. There's two other people.
It's Azula and her Mean Girls.
Kylie and May.
Yeah.
Posing as the Kyoshi warriors that they defeated in Appa's Lost Days.
Yeah, they murdered them. They're all dead. They
should be.
Hung their heads on pikes and stuff.
Hopefully.
On Kyoshi Island.
But that's actually what we end the episode on.
The heads on pikes?
No, the reveal that it's actually Azula.
Oh. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. That is. What do you point
at? We actually have a sound clip of the end of that episode.
Do we?
Yeah. Where Azula is revealed.
We are the Earth King's humble servants.
I think that's sufficiently creepy.
Yeah, I love her music. Like you said, it's very simplistic, but it's so creepy.
Yeah, it's very, very well suited for her. But that wraps the episode up. It's actually, I think it's a good fake out episode because you think everything's going to be fine. I think Aang even says at one point that nothing could get better than this. Everything's going to end up perfectly fine.
But it does get better because Azula shows up.
Yes.
To wreck shop.
And so that's it for that episode.
I enjoy this episode a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's really good.
Not that our listeners care. But...
We get some really good choreography with the fights and stuff. I think this is some of the best earthbending we've got.
Well, there was like the first 5 minutes of this episode was just strictly choreographed bending.
Yeah, it was just like nonstop fighting.
It was pretty good. We got a lot of Katara working with Aang. I don't even know what Sokka was doing.
Katara does some pretty powerful stuff in this episode.
She does. I think this is our first real good look about how good of a bender Katara is, because in the next coming episodes we get to show or see that she's a really good master bender.
Yeah.
Which she's earned the title of master bender from Baku.
Technically.
I
think Sokka's just directing everything. I don't think he actually has anything to do because it's just benders and him. That's got to suck for your sister to be like a master bender.
Just to do with the boomerang.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, season 3, here we come.
Yeah, where Sokka becomes a bender.
Yep.
But that's just about it.
Yeah.
Really cool reveal with Azula again. I really like that.
All right. Your thoughts? Next episode. Which one?
Well, I got some trivia.
Oh, you want to go trivia. You and your trivia.
I think so. We didn't even talk about like Zuko's dream. So in Zuko's dream, a red and blue dragon shows up, and they're actually like sort of vying for Zuko's attention. One of them is voiced by Azula, and one of them is voiced by Iroh. And Azula is telling Zuko to go to sleep and just give in to his like base desires. Iroh's saying, "No, resist. You're better than this." And it's really cool, just showing how divided Zuko is.
Yes, and the blue dragon's Azula, which I think is really cool. It represents her blue lightning, or her blue fire, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's really cool.
And the dragon of the west is the red dragon.
Which is not really very symbolic, but...
When Zuko dreams of being the Fire Lord, he has a full head of long hair, similar to his father's, and no scar.
Yeah.
This is how his life would have been if he wouldn't have interrupted in the war room.
Do you think so?
Oh, yeah, definitely. At some point. He wouldn't be burned.
Yeah, but do you think because his father never really liked him?
No, but he technically, I think he would be the one in line. I don't know if they can have a Fire Queen.
No, well, I think it'd still be a Fire Lord.
You think so?
Yeah.
Have they had women Fire Lords?
Have they?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember.
Well, I think since he's kicked out, she's the heir apparent
probably
to the throne.
Unless he can regain his honor.
Yeah, but I don't think they're actually going for that. I don't think it's actually going to happen.
I don't know.
Well, they're playing it. Actually, that's not actually going to happen for me. They put him on a wild goose chase because they don't like him.
Yeah, but he definitely could, I think.
I think he could. Find out next season.
When Aang mentions that Long Feng kidnapped Appa to blackmail him, Long Feng states that he thought the Sky Bison were extinct. However, since he is trying to convince the Earth King that there is no war, the Airbender should still be alive, and the Sky Bison should not be extinct.
I'm real dumb, so repeat that.
I'm not going to repeat. Okay, so Long Feng says the Sky Bison are extinct.
I'm with you.
But he's telling the Earth King that there's no war, so the Airbenders would never have been killed.
Oh.
So Sky Bison wouldn't be extinct.
Well, if the Earth King was as dumb and naive as me, he wouldn't have.
Yeah, he probably would have fell for that.
Like if I was the Earth King, I'd have been like, yeah, you're right, whatever. Look at my bear. I have a bear named Bosco.
Okay, I think that's probably all the time for trivia that we have.
Yeah, on to the next episode.
The next episode, which
the
is
Guru
Batik.
Guru Batik. Did I cut you off too soon?
No, it's fine.
That's good.
I don't care.
I didn't care either.
Okay, so this next episode, Guru, I think that we're kind of divided on whether this is a good episode or not.
Is it a good episode?
I think it is.
I think it is too.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
I thought you were
saying that it wasn't good.
Is it?
If you had to describe this episode in one word, what would you say?
Brilliant.
That was like 3 words. Okay.
It wouldn't pause. I couldn't get it to pause.
Yeah, so this is the episode in which Aang travels to the Eastern Air Temple to try to master the Avatar state.
And does he master the Avatar state, Caleb? Please tell us. Do tell.
No, you can watch the episode for that.
That's fair. Oh. Yep.
So
Watch the episode. That's all I gotta say.
So Aang goes to the Eastern Air Temple.
No. You said watch the episode. We're not gonna talk about this one.
We're
Let's just skip it over.
I don't think that. I don't know.
We ain't got time to tell you guys.
So Aang goes to the Eastern Air Temple where he meets Guru Patik, who is going to sort of train him in the way to use the Avatar state to its full potential and be able to call on wit and will.
Which
At will.
I just don't get the Avatar state, man.
I don't understand what's so hard to comprehend
No,
about the
it's
Avatar state.
okay. If the man, say Aang can master all 4 elements, all right. In
Yeah.
the Avatar state, you use the elements based upon what you've learned in past lives.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Aang himself has mastered all 5 or all 4 elements, not 5, whatever, all 4 elements, there's no point in the Avatar state.
No,
man.
that's okay. So see, you're looking at it at the way where the Avatar state just allows him to use all forms of bending.
Yeah, and it allows him to get the knowledge from previous avatars
so
too. But
what you have is so you have Aang's perspective, his entire 12 years, and the way he looks at things. If he's going into a fight, he's going to look at it the way an airbender would look at it for his 12 years. However, if he has the knowledge of every prior avatar to him, that is so much more wisdom into how to interact with the world.
But can't he just do that with meditating and not go in the Avatar state? Haven't we seen that before?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a case by case basis.
So you're saying, okay, so I guess in a fight situation, like if we broke out into a fight and you were overpowering me, and I'm like, how am I going to get out of this?
And you have,
and I had the Avatar state,
1,000 lives
and
before you.
I had 1,000 lives before me that I've probably been in this scenario. I could be like, all right,
something
cool,
like
but like if he can already meditate pre-battle, like if he has time to sit down and be like, hey, I gotta fight this guy later, like if we're going to like a staged fight for money.
Okay, but that's not what this is at all.
No, I'm saying like if,
nothing about it is a stage fight for money.
He's gone into staged fights though before. Like he's like he knows he has to go fight the Fire Lord. Like that's a pretty much a staged fight.
How would he know how to fight the Fire Lord?
He sits down and he's like, all right, hey, listen, this guy's pretty crazy. He bends fire. He's from the Fire Nation. And then all the other guys are like, hey, well, all right, I fought a couple Fire Nation guys. And other guys speak up, well, I fought some Fire Nation guys, all these avatars, giving him insight. And he's like, okay, this might work. If maybe.
okay.
I don't really see there's not a whole lot to the Avatar state to me that impresses me.
It's a lot different than asking, okay, give me your advice on how I can take on a master firebender at this level. So yeah, of course he could go to Roku and be like, okay, how do I take on a firebender of this level? And Roku could like be, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. That's a lot different than calling upon every single iteration of you in the past while you're actually fighting them. Because you have to make split-second decisions, just like very quickly, and you can't really prepare for all of that. But if you have 1,000 lives, yeah, you're going to use them to get all of the wisdom that they have in the moment. Does that make more sense?
Sure.
I mean, I know I'm right. It's just the question if you know I'm right.
I think it's subjective.
I don't know.
It is. I don't
enjoy
the Avatar state. Like you might not enjoy banana pudding, and I might love banana pudding. Like
banana pudding's fine.
Everything's subjective.
I'm
not a big fan of banana pudding, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
I like banana pudding.
It's disgusting to me. Anything artificial is gross.
Save that for your banana, I guess, pudding podcast.
No.
Okay, so I don't even remember where we were. Do you remember? Oh, yeah, Aang's trying to master the Avatar state. So he goes to this guru who he said he knew, what's the guy's name? Gyatso? So he's very old. He's crazy old at this point.
Yeah, and he tells Aang that there are 7 Horcruxes he needs to there are 7 chakras that he needs to open.
Yeah, in
something
himself.
like that.
So he describes chakras as sort of pools of energy in your body, like sort of in a river-like state.
We get a visual description of the dirty creeks, of dirty ponds flowing together or whatnot, and he clears them up.
So what he's explaining is once you open up one chakra, then the flow of energy through your body is more efficient. And so you have to open up all 7 of them to enter the Avatar state at will.
That's a lot of chakras, but he busts them out pretty
Oh,
quick.
yeah, he goes through. Well, it's a half-hour episode, 22 minutes. So I mean,
it takes him half an hour to figure it out.
They sort of have to breeze through it. And also he has to like fly off and go back and stuff. So yeah, he's breezing through the first 6 chakras basically. And they all have like a different thing that you have to sort of get rid of, like a different emotion that you sort of have to break ties with. Because I think that you're basically accessing like the spirit world in this, sort of becoming closer to it.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Because I think that's where they pull energy from. I could be completely... That's probably baseless and
speculation.
False, but, yeah. But, I mean, that seems... if you have to open the chakras to enter the avatar state, then that's basically going and accessing the spirit world.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he busts those first six down, and then the seventh one is he has to get rid of loved ones. He has to get rid of his emotional connection.
Attachment. Yeah, basically.
Emotional attachment, and his biggest emotional attachment is Momo.
He loves that little lemur.
Who doesn't?
I don't.
His biggest emotional attachment is Katara.
Yeah, obviously.
Whom I do not like.
And
She's the worst.
He's like in sort of this trance-like state where he's ascendant and up into the stars and walking on this path made out of like an aurora. And he's walking up to this giant version of himself. And who's like in a meditating stance. And
if you're being so descriptive, you might as well just say it's a giant purple version of himself.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Okay. Yeah, it's a giant purple silhouette version of him. And he walks up to it, and he gets in like the ball that the hands are making. And he's thinking through like exactly what he has to give up in order to sever these emotional ties. And so he's seeing visions of Katara like from the past and stuff. But then he actually sees a vision of Katara in the present.
Currently being held prisoner in a
because
dungeon.
She has seen, she saw Zuko earlier in the tea shop.
Yeah. And she ran to go see the king and warn him about Prince Zuko and the Dragon of the West being in there in Ba Sing Se because she thinks they're here to do harm. And they're not. They're just living their lives right now. But then she gets them all involved. And Katara's really just... She flicks the first domino on that, man.
Yeah.
And she did that to herself.
But she gets captured by the...
Yeah,
the
she gets captured by the Dai Li because Azula's in charge because Azula and Tai Li and Mei snuck in as the Kyoshi warriors. And that's where that goes to.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where... Is that...
I think Zuko...
Well, is this before or after Long Feng has been established as no longer the leader of the Dai Li?
Yeah, he's already in prison.
Okay, no, but like...
No, he has not been dethroned yet.
Okay, when Azula's like, listen, they haven't decided yet.
Yeah, they set up a trap and Azula goes and basically joins a team with Longfang.
Kind of. Says, she plays along. She pretends
to.
Yeah, she sets the Dai Li up to listen to Tai Li and Mei about being part of the Fire Nation. And there's a whole scene where Mei's like, shut up. You want everybody to know that we're the Fire Nation? And the Dai Li's in the background just like lurking.
Yeah.
And then he goes and informs upon them to Long Feng. And then he's like, oh, hey.
Then the Dai Li bring Azula to him. And she basically sort of says, hey, give me control of the Dai Li right now. And I'll take out the Earth King, and then you can become king.
Yeah, and then as she walks away, you see the camera on her face.
Of course.
And she smirks.
You know she was lying.
She's playing him. She's playing him.
Which is what he was playing at throughout the entire...
Which, at the end of the episode, she says, he goes, you beat me in my own game. And she goes, please, you were never even a player.
Yeah, so they've already... Zuko's already confronted her because... They find out that Azula's there, and he wants to go and regain his honor. And he goes up, and he's like fighting her and stuff. And Iroh's very much against it. He said, "Hey, just calm down. We don't need to do this. Let's just stay right here and run this tea shop."
Yeah, I was gonna add in a sound clip after Long Fang was gone, but you ruined it for me.
Well, that's at the end of the episode, so we got another shot at that.
Looks like Long Fang is long gone.
Oh, that was the last episode.
Yeah, but that was the end of Long Fang, and I was like, yeah, I really want to play that clip, but you didn't give me a chance to play it.
Okay, well, it's a good thing you're playing it now and just interrupting the flow of the podcast.
Yeah, good.
So Zuko gets captured because he's pretty handily defeated by Azula and the Dai Li.
Yeah, he played that really stupidly.
Okay.
He let Iroh jump out of the building, and like it leads into the Iroh going to recruit the Avatar, but he jumped out of the building and he can't get back up there in time. And Zuko's like, I'm not going to go with you. I'm going to fight Azula.
Yeah.
And then he pretty much just gets caught.
So then Iroh runs off back to the only place that he knows that people can help him, and that is to the house of the Avatar and Toph and Sokka.
Yeah, they happen to be there too. And Toph, she's like, hey, actually,
we haven't even talked about Toph either.
I know this guy. And
hold on. Before we go any further.
Opens the door and it's Iroh.
Okay, but we need to talk about how Toph got back.
Oh, Toph can metal bend. Okay, so Toph opens the door, and
You don't want
Iroh.
to talk about that at all. I know you've been waiting for it. So,
Toph can metal bend.
Okay, you said that already. Thank you.
It's so cool.
Toph is in the metal cage, being taken back to her parents by whatever those guys' names, Yu and
Master
Sinfu.
Yu and Sinfao Fu.
Yeah, so she's in this metal cage, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you can try to get out all you want, but you can't metal bend. Not even you can metal bend," which is just setting it up for them to eat their words.
Yeah, it's setting it up for her to metal bend.
And at the same time, Guru Patik is also talking about how even metal is just earth, just very refined.
And that's when we see through Toph's eyes that kind of,
Bat vision.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil's kind of thing going
Yeah.
on, where she touches the ground and it kind of just reverberates through, and we get to see the little shards of earth in the metal, which I don't know much about metal.
I mean, they're not that big, but it's just really refined.
Well, also, I don't know how
they.
they make metal back in those shows.
I don't know.
Like a lot of things are dependent on bending.
Yeah, they could just bend. Yeah, how? No, well, they couldn't because they couldn't metal bend before this.
Or could they?
So they still use fire and refining and stuff like that.
Did Guru Patik know about that? Has he met metal
Because he's a
benders?
guru.
Has he met metal benders?
No, probably not.
I bet he has.
I don't think so.
Sand benders exist. Swamp benders
That's
exist.
true. That's not metal though. But Toph figures out how to bend the metal, and she opens up her cage and pops out.
Yeah. And then traps the dudes inside there forever.
Yeah.
And we don't see those guys ever again.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's been a while.
And then she zooms back somewhere. I don't know where exactly she's going. Just back to Ba Sing Se, I guess.
Yeah, she does just end up back in Boston State. doesn't
But then Aang flies to get Sokka, who has at this point met his dad, and they're like getting ready to go on like a war run or something like that. But Aang says, "Hey, Sokka, Katara's in trouble. You need to come back to Ba Sing Se with us right now."
He doesn't say any of that stuff. He just looks at Sokka and he goes,
Okay, he implies that's what's happening.
all with a look.
Yeah.
It started with,
and I'm
with a
assuming
look.
he said something to that effect when they were on.
He just stares at him the entire time and Sokka's like, dude, I'm
I don't know
coming.
what's going on.
Dude, chill.
Could you tell me what's the problem, Aang?
I'll be there in a sec, man.
But he goes back, and then they pick up Toph, and they're told by some general or something, maybe, that Katara's fine. What are you talking about? Let's go back to your house. So they do.
No, it was...
I don't know who it was.
Was it General Howard or was it
It was
the Earth
somebody.
King? Where's the Earth King at right now?
It was probably the Earth King. Yeah, so they talk to the Earth King. They're like, hey, Katara's in trouble. He's like, no, I just saw her. She was with the Kyoshi Warriors.
Oh, yeah. And then they're like... No, is that when they realize the Kyoshi Warriors aren't the Kyoshi Warriors? No.
No, they don't know that until later.
Yes! Because that's when they meet the Kyoshi Warriors.
Yes.
And, yeah.
And
okay.
Ty Lee comes over to Sokka, and he does not recognize her at all, which is weird.
He actually says, I'm kind of involved with Suki right now.
Yeah, because she says that he's cute.
Yeah, and they start fighting. And Toph fights some people, and Aang fights some people.
Like usual.
The huge.
But they end up running away?
Running away or getting killed?
I don't know, because they have to go back to the house. And then, so they go back to the house or something. I don't know. Don't ask me to remember this episode I just watched, please. But they end up back at their house, and Iroh shows up.
Oh, yeah, Iroh.
And says, hey, I need your help. Zuko got trapped, probably with Katara. So
yeah, what are the chances?
Well, probably pretty good.
Well,
they have prisons.
When we saw her in the Aang's little vision, she was in a dungeon with chains.
Yeah.
Like a stone dungeon with chains. And now she's in a cavern with diamonds.
Yeah,
or
so
crystals.
Yeah,
I should
crystals.
say.
So apparently Iroh had kidnapped one of the Ty Lee. He just has him like tied up, like because he's Iroh, and of course he can do that.
Just
but he
threw somebody over his shoulder.
Yeah, he's like, I think I know someone who could help. So they go around and talk to him, and immediately after they pull like the rag out of his mouth, he just gives him exactly where Zuko and Katara are being held.
Which I think was the same Dai Li agent that was standing in front of Azula when Azula was saying, if I have any fires raging against me or something like that, I'll snuff it out.
Could be.
And he was kind of like sweating a little bit. He had the scar. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. I think the scar was indicative of being that dude.
Yeah, but they end up, Iroh and Aang go off to find Katara and Zuko. And then Toph and Sokka go somewhere, I guess. Where were they?
I don't know.
We just watched this episode.
Did Jet die?
Yeah, I don't know. That was really unclear. But Katara and Aang happen upon Sokka and Katara. Okay, hold on.
Iroh and Aang.
Yeah, give me a second.
Iroh gets some.
I just need a second.
Iroh gives advice to Aang, and then they bust open into this huge cavern of old Ba Sing Se.
Crystals.
Yeah, of crystals, and they.
And Katara and Zuko had been down there bonding this entire time.
Yes.
Katara almost killed Aang with an action that she almost made.
She almost. Yeah, almost, man.
It was close.
Did she use all that water?
I don't know if we can talk about that yet.
Well, we can. It's our podcast.
Yeah, but season 3, that's sort of a pivotal thing.
No, it just happened.
Did it happen at the end of this one?
Yeah, we just watched it happen.
Guys, I didn't want to have to tell you this way, but I've been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, early onset Alzheimer's, and so my memory's going. I didn't want you guys to find out this way. I was planning on doing a press conference later this week to let all my fans know.
How bad is it?
Not good. It's not good.
Are there days where you just can't remember your name?
Oh, no. I don't have anything other than Avatar-related Alzheimer's.
Oh.
That's not...
Man.
Yeah, so I might not even remember season 3 when we get to it.
That's the
which
worst,
would be a cool
bro.
experience for me.
That's the worst.
But Katara and Zuko, she sees that Zuko has changed a little bit.
Not physically, he's still hideous.
Oh yeah,
but mentally and psychologically, emotionally and spiritually, all those fake, non-tangible things. Yeah, he might have his character development brought him here, and she's like, "Hey, I can fix your scar for you with this Oasis juju stuff that I've got." And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And they're about to kiss, and then Aang, I don't know. Aang shows up. A lot of people want them to be together. If you're into that kind of weird stuff.
Yeah, but Aang and Iroh show up, and Katara leaves Zuko and goes over and gives Aang a hug. And it's so funny because as soon as Katara's like hugging Aang, we see Aang look at Zuko and just give him this just mean glare.
The dirtiest look.
Yeah.
The death eye. And then Zuko wonders why Uncle Iroh is with the Avatar and almost attacks Aang.
Yeah, we see earlier, like, Zuko's like, well, the Fire Nation hurt me too, in case you didn't notice this giant scar on my face to Katara. But as soon as the Avatar gets down there, he freaks out.
Yeah, how does she think he got there? Like, just by like an accident with himself? Like he was just eating tea one day and just...
I guess she just didn't put it together.
Because she's dumb, and all she cares about is herself.
She is very selfish in this. Cause
yes.
She goes off about how, did you not know how the Fire Nation has affected me personally?
She says that. Those are the words. Me personally.
Yeah.
Man.
And Zuko's like, did you never think about, like, me? My dad burned my face.
He's like, my dad banished me. I was the prince. I was to rule that nation, man. You shut up, Katara. You're just a lowly little water girl.
But everything looks up. They found Katara and they're getting ready to leave. And then the two Dai Li agents show up with Azula dressed as a Kyoshi warrior.
Immediately. Nope, she's dressed as an Earth person.
Is she?
Yeah, she's no longer a Kyoshi warrior. But they immediately incapacitate the Dragon of the West, so that's cool. And then she plays mind games with Zuko. And you see a really cool scene where Zuko, there's Iroh's on one side of him and Azula's on the other side of him. The Dai Li have left, and she's telling him one thing, and Iroh's telling him another, and he's indecisive. He's conflicted about what's going on right now. And then there's a really cool shot where it shows the side of him where it's no scar, and then it shows the other side of him where it's scar, and then it transitions into Aang, and Aang's doing some stuff. And I think that's a really cool shot. Like, it's like, oh man, where's Zuko at right now in his head? Are we about to find out? And then Aang is seen in the big cavern that I showed earlier that Iroh and him busted into. And then Azula shows up with him and Katara.
And they're facing off with Azula, and it looks pretty good because Katara and Aang are actually a really good match for Azula.
Yeah, they're going to whip butts.
Yeah.
Singular one, but...
and then Zuko shows up and shoots a fireball at Azula. Kind of. It's like it landed in front of her.
Yeah. You see a big fireball explode in front of Azula, and then Zuko walks up, and he's aimed at Azula, and then he looks over at Aang, and Aang's like, oh, crap, some bad stuff's going to go down.
I know what's happening now.
And then Zuko shoots over at Aang, and they start fighting, and Katara starts fighting Azula, and then from then on, it's pretty
This is
even,
where Katara actually
matched.
showcases like her actual water bending.
Conveniently, there's
river.
a little pool of water there for her to do some stuff with.
I guess it makes sense that the caves would have a stream running through them.
Does it?
Well, yeah, because that's how caves are formed.
Did the Cave of Lovers have one in there?
No, but that was formed by man. This is actually a cavern.
So you just lied to me.
No,
You just said that's how caves are formed.
it's actually
and then you took
it's
it
actually
back.
a secret
And
tunnel.
you took it back and called it.
It's a tunnel.
The episode's called Cave of Two Lovers.
It's actually called Tunnel of Two Lovers.
not.
Look it up.
It's not.
Um,
Don't lie to me.
but that's a man-made cave, kind of like a canal.
Your mom's a man-made cave.
Okay. But Katara is showcasing her bending abilities. She's doing some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, we get to see a version of, remember Aang's octopus thing he did forever ago when he was in the water? We get to see a better version of that.
Katara's actually figured it out now.
Yeah, and she gets to murder some Dai Li agents with that nonsense, because after the fight, Katara gets, the Dai Li agents show up. Like when you think they're like on the good people are on the winning side, the Dai Li agent shows up and like, hey, don't hurt my princess. And then all the Dai Li agents show up and they're crazy outnumbered. And Katara takes that stance at the octopus, and Aang's like, all right, well, I have to go in the Avatar state now. And he encases himself with those crystals, and he goes in the Avatar state, and
He doesn't want to. He says he's sorry to Katara because he knows what he has to do.
Yes,
in
and
order to open that last chakra.
he gives up Katara, and then he goes in the Avatar state, and he immediately gets shot down. He accomplishes nothing.
Yeah.
He immediately gets shot down by the lightning from Azula, that devious little witch.
Yeah, she actually went behind him while he was going into the Avatar state.
Which is a cheap shot, Azula. Which is,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, cheap is a good way to win.
I mean, it's on character too.
Yeah, no, it's a great way to win if you want to get the job done. Like, they say cheaters never win, but I graduated high school, so.
Yeah, and at this point, things are looking pretty bleak for our heroes.
Pretty grim.
But Iroh busts in and takes on all the Dai Li agents left, Zuko and Azula at the same time.
Well, we did miss that Katara, as
And
soon as she sees Aang fall down, she takes pretty much all the water in the room and makes a tidal wave of it and drowns all the Dai Li agents.
And then Iroh shows up and takes on Zuko and Azula to let them escape.
Yeah. He says, go, I'll let you escape. And then as soon as they leave, he
He gets
waves the white
encased in
flag.
crystals.
Yeah, he waves the white flag.
Yep. And then we see them flying off on Appa. Katara's crying, probably. I don't know exactly.
Katara cries a lot. She's a little...
But then she uses the magic water from the North Pole.
The Oasis water.
Yes, to heal Aang, who had been dead.
So she brought him back from the dead.
Yeah, he was totally dead.
But he's still hurt. He needs time to... he's not mentally or physically all the way there now. He's just dead, You can't bring somebody back from the dead and they're fully, 100%.
Oh, no. Every time I've done it, they've been like 50%.
Right? And it's
Minimum.
so hard. It's so hard, man. Minimum.
Or maximum, whichever one means the other thing.
Whichever one doesn't mean what I'm...
So that's the end of the second season,
Yes.
end of book 2.
So
we actually, on that one, we mixed up the two different episodes. That was the Guru, Patik, and Crossroads of Destiny, the final episode. So we can get some trivia for both those. But first, Harley, what do you think about book 2 in general?
I love it. We get a lot more Azula, which I love the Fire Nation characters. They're devious and they're cunning. And then there's Iroh, who's just very... I love the character development.
Uh-huh.
And I like how we ended off. We have Aang, who is now just recently brought back from the dead. He was murdered. Katara, who is just, very weak. I don't know where Sokka and Toph are at. Were they on the Bison?
Yeah, they
were?
got him back.
Okay, and then...
Because I think they were just flying out of Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, Uncle Iroh's imprisoned, and Zuko is now on Azula's side.
Did they have the Earth King with them also?
Maybe. Yeah, they
think
did. They
they
had the
did.
Earth King and the bear.
Yeah.
So that's what... The Earth King is no longer in Ba Sing Se. Azula now runs Ba Sing Se. Azula has Zuko. Iroh's imprisoned.
Yeah, because
it
we
looks...
didn't mention, but Zula took over the Dai Li.
Yeah, we grazed that over.
There was like a power play with her and Long Fang, and she ended up winning.
It's very Empire Strikes Back-ish. Like, the bad guys are winning, and the good guys are kind of on the lam.
It's funny you say that, because the first piece of trivia for the episode, The Guru, is the scene between Aang and Patik is reminiscent of one of the Dagobah scenes of Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, in which Luke leaves Yoda after seeing a vision of Leia and the others in trouble despite Yoda telling him Jedi training must be finished before he leaves. Also, in an interview, Harley, your favorite person in the world, Dave Filoni, hinted that Aang received very Jedi-like training.
Good old Dave Filoni. Watch the Rebels, kids.
Yeah, it's actually almost identical to The Empire Strikes Back.
It is.
Because you got an old green guy teaching a young Jedi master.
An old green guy, really, that's what we're going to go with.
Well, yeah.
Is that racist?
No. Yoda's very green.
Yeah, but Guru Patik isn't.
He's the same. He's Yoda. That's what I'm actually... Guru Yoda.
Is it just... Okay, I see what you're saying. We've seen so many white people that now...
that's not what I was saying.
we finally get somebody of a different descent.
Another piece of trivia is this is the first time metal bending has been introduced in the series, even though it has been mentioned a couple of times indirectly.
Has metal bending been mentioned, or has it been...
It's only been mentioned to say that it cannot be done.
Metal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Toph is truly a genius. The color of Aang's visions for each of his chakra mirror the colors traditionally associated with the corresponding chakras. Red for the first, orange for the second, yellow, purple, through purple, which coincidentally is in the same order they're arranged in the visible spectrum.
Maybe that's why I didn't like this episode as a kid. Too many colors.
You don't like colors?
No, it's clashy. A lot of colors like that. Even though you look at my studio room right now.
The closet. This is the first time Aang openly admits his love for Katara.
Aww. Aang. That's so pretty. I hate you.
Okay.
This chakra deals with pleasure.
That's, of course, Yoda, speaking in that sound clip. And this episode actually aired with the Crossroads of Destiny as a 1-hour season finale.
I thought it did. Aren't all the season finales 1 hour?
Probably. I'm not entirely certain.
That was certain. December 1st, 2006, kids.
Nice. A long time ago.
Yeah, that's so weird. We're so old.
So that was it for the Guru Patik. Let's get some trivia for Crossroads of Destiny.
Oh yeah.
So Katara uses the octopus fighting form for the first time in battle,
which we addressed. Was that the one she was struggling with?
I think so. Or she was mad that Aang just picked it up so quickly.
Yeah. Okay. That's the whole water scroll one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I think.
I'm with you.
This is the first time Aang uses the Avatar state without bending any element, because he's quickly cut off by Azula. So I don't think that he was trying to not bend.
Maybe that's another reason why I didn't like the Avatar state. As a child, when I watched this, he never accomplished anything with the Avatar state, and I thought that was pointless. I think I'm just biased towards the Avatar state.
Apparently, this is the first time anyone of Team Avatar calls Iroh by his first name.
Yeah. Really?
I guess so.
Well, it hasn't been credited in the episode.
I don't even... how many times have they even met him? Just a couple.
I thought about that when I was in the episode, because...
Toph is the only person who's actually ever talked to him.
Yeah, they know of each other.
Yeah.
But have they met? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Let's look that up.
This is the only book finale in which Ozai does not speak or appear. There's only 3, so I don't think that that's really too big a deal.
Ozai doesn't appear at all in this?
Or speak, no.
Ooh.
Iroh is generating lightning off screen for the second time in the series.
When they busted out of that
to break down a wall to escape the Dai Li.
Saw that.
This is the first time was a demonstration in bitter work. He is never seen using it in combat because he knows how volatile it is.
That's fair.
I think that's just about it for the trivia. You got anything?
I mean, what I said during the show was Katara is the only other person other than that girl that
May,
whatever her name was, sure, touched Sokka's scar.
What was her name? The girl that he meets in Tales of Ba Sing Se.
I don't know. The girl he lights he firebends for.
Yes. I don't know what her name was.
I don't know either.
They wouldn't have called her May, certainly, right?
That'd be funny.
And just have 2 Mays.
Yeah, that'd be nice. He falls in love with both of them. It's been hinted at the previous episodes.
What has been hinted at?
their little when they were children, their little love affair.
Yes, of course. Of course. Thank you for that.
Indeed.
Okay, I think with that strong finish to the episode, that's going to be it for us. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you here next week.
Bye.